Hello and welcome. In this class, we will talk about the modal verbs can and must. Remember that when we see an apostrophe in a word like this is an apostrophe. This little comma here and here is an apostrophe. When we see this apostrophe in a word, that means that two words have been joined. Like here, can't means can not. Mustn't means must not. Okay? That's the use of this apostrophe here. That means that two words have been joined. Okay. The modal verbs can, can't, must, and mustn't. Frequently, can is used to ask for and give permissions, and when we speak about general ability in the present. Remember that the must expresses a very strong obligation, which also carries a consequence. We use can't and mustn't to talk about something that is against the rules. This is common on public signs and news where people are informed of the rules or laws. The modal verbs can, poder, and must, deber, have several characteristics. They form the affirmative, negative, and interrogative exactly the same as auxiliary verbs. The third person singular does not change, nor is it necessary to add s in the present simple. Now, let's take a look at the conjugation of the modal verbs can and must with all personal pronouns. As you can see, modal verbs are the same for all the personal pronouns. That is, they don't change. I can, you can, he can, she can, it can, we can, you can. Or must, I must, you must, he must, she must, it must, we must, you must. The word is the same. It doesn't change. And this is the negative form, cannot or must not. Remember, with a contraction you can say can't. You can say cannot or you can say can't. You can say must not or you can say mustn't. It's the same. I can't. You can't. He can't. She can't. It can't, etc. I mustn't. You mustn't. He mustn't. It's the same word. And now this is the interrogative form. Remember that for interrogative form, the modal verb goes at the beginning of the question, at the beginning of the sentence. Can I? Can you? Can he? Etc. Or must. Must I? Must you? Must he? Etc. Okay? Always at the beginning of the question. Now let's see some examples. Remember that you can copy the sentences as they can be useful as a model for your activity. So if you want, you can copy the sentences. Here we have an example with the modal verb must. He must study more. He must. Él debe. This is an obligation. He must. So if you want, you can copy the sentence. We mustn't play football at home. We mustn't or we must not is the same. Here's the apostrophe. Must not or mustn't is the same. She can go to the party. She can. As you can see, in the third person, she, you don't need to add an S. That's not necessary with modal verbs. Only she can go to the party. I can't play the guitar. I can't means I cannot. This is a contraction for two words. I can't or I cannot play the guitar. Can you help me? As you can see, the modal verb is at the beginning because this is a question, and the question mark only at the end of the sentence, and the modal verb at the beginning. Can you help me? Remember, in English, the question mark only goes at the end of the sentence or at the end of the question. And that's all for today. So thank you and see you soon.